Donald Trump is now the 47th president of the United States. Now, whether you like him or don't like him, this is now a fact. He is now the president, and he has done a lot at day number 1. So let's go through some of the things he's done already. This is an article from Axios. Now, of course, one of Trump's biggest promises was on immigration. So many of the orders will be on immigration and what to do on the southern border. So one of the first things Trump did is he declared a national emergency at the Mexican border. Now, as you probably know, the last 4 years under Biden, it has been a lot of immigration into America. I mean, a lot, millions of people, and a lot of both legal and illegal immigration. Now Trump will set a stop to the illegal immigration. You should not have illegal people come into your country. That goes for every country. That is like common sense stuff. So if an illegal person tries to go into your country, you stop them, you send them back. Now, and you need to have a secure border to be able to prevent people from doing that in the first place. And if they do it, you catch them. Now, this is a common sense proposal that since this has not been done at the southern border in America, then Trump has now declared a national emergency there, which will attempt to create what should have been there in the first place. One of the things it includes that now the cartels in Mexico are now declared terrorist organization. And that is a big deal. Now they can do a lot of stuff against them to attack them, to prevent them from smuggling in all the drugs and illegal stuff that they have done for so many years into America. So that's a big deal, and that's probably a good thing that they will be able to combat that more effective and have more rights to do so. So that's good. He will also put up again the Remain in Mexico policy. Now, this was a policy that he instated in his first term. So if you're an asylum seeker or someone that comes to America through the Mexican border to stay there, then you have to, now while they are processing you, you have to stay in Mexico while they are processing you. Now, this is a great thing, obviously, since when they apply for asylum and they are released into America, then they just disappear, most of them. They just disappear, you will never find them again. So to prevent this, he did a Remain in Mexico policy the first term. Now Biden just killed this as soon as he came into office. And now he has reinstated it, which is good. If you have a desirable country to come to as America, then this is a great way to reduce illegal attempts, to reduce asylum seekers that are not real, to deter them from doing this. Now, Trump has also ended birthright citizenship. Now, this will probably be challenged in court and will probably go all the way up to Supreme Court, since it is in the Constitution, but the way it is worded, he has a different interpretation of how that should be interpreted. What's in the Constitution about birthright citizenship. So it's up to the legal scholars whether this will be overturned or whether this will stay. But in my personal opinion, this should not be a thing. That there shouldn't be a birthright citizenship anywhere, because that's easily exploitable. Like anyone, like on a tourist visa, can just come to America, give birth, and then their kid is a citizen, which is obviously a huge exploit. If this was a video game, this would have been patched a long time ago. Now he also wants to get more American oil and gas from the ground, because America does have a lot of oil and gas, and he will use this to have a lot of energy in America, to bring the energy prices down, to bring the oil prices down, and this will in general probably bring some prices down, because a lot of the prices of almost everything is also contingent on energy prices, since everything needs to be transported everywhere, and that uses energy and oil and gas. And he has again withdrawn from the Paris Climate Treaty. Now he did this the last term as well, but then Biden put them in again, and now he has left again. Now the Paris Climate Treaty It is like a treat on how to reduce climate change and how to reduce oil and gas to that everything that pumps out CO2 to lessen the CO2 to try to lessen climate change. But the treaty is quite unequal. Because when it comes to, for example, countries like China and India, they are exempt from a lot of the measures in there, and they don't need to do the measures for many years because they are considered developing nations. But countries like America that already are developed, they have a huge number of regulations on them to reduce CO2 emissions. And Trump's obviously think this is unfair, and it gives China a huge advantage if America does adhere by this treaty, as it limits America's ability to make energy, and energy is a huge deal. Trump also signed an order that establishes that male and female are the only two genders recognized by America, and this is like a common sense thing. There are obviously only two genders, male and female, so this is a good thing. With this, he also is going against DEI, or as I like to call it, DIE. Basically, DEI is discrimination of the majority population. So it is discrimination itself, so it's ending discrimination, which is a good thing. And the DEI is often described as like woke and woke culture and all this. It is basically just racism and discrimination against the majority group to try to give the minority groups a leg up. But if you want an equal society with everyone has equal opportunity, then DEI is just racism and discrimination. So obviously better to get that away if you want a colorblind society. He has also pardoned a lot of January 6 prisoners. He has pardoned a lot of them because a lot of them were jailed for doing pretty much nothing. Like all they did was like trespass into the Capitol building, and they just went in there because it was chaos that day. Nobody knew what was going on almost. So people just went in there and went out. Most of them didn't do much. But he's at least pardoning those that didn't do much, that got like years in prison for just going in there and going out. So that's obviously absurd that they got that they got so big prison amount for that. That's not okay. So that's good he pardoned those. But it seems he has also pardoned some people that were violent, which is not as good. Now I don't know is each individual case. Like for some of them maybe it's okay because they have been like 4 years 4 years in jail at this point. It's a long time. So depending on what they did, it can be okay. Trump is also withdrawing from the WHO, the World Health Organization. And this is probably a response to what happened during COVID, where they gave terrible advice to all the countries on how to handle COVID, or Corona, as I like to call it. During Corona, it was terrible. All the restrictions and the freedoms the government took away from people, it was not okay at all. They did like the Chinese model of they recommended the Chinese model of how to handle Corona, which was just like restricting everyone's freedom. Like everyone has to be at home, can't do anything. That's not good at all. So that's why he's probably withdrawing from this, because they gave terrible advice and they also have a lot of power. Like they're unelected bureaucrats in that organization. So also we probably want more democratic control of how we do these crises and stuff like that. And these people like it prevented that, since they are unelected bureaucrats and they decided a lot of stuff. He also did several other things, such as ensuring government agencies do not unconditionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen. And that is obviously a good thing, because, we don't know how true it is, but it seems like, at least from what Mark Zuckerberg said, that the Biden administration has tried to censor speech on these platforms, which is obviously not okay. That's censorship. The government should not be in the business of censoring its citizens. So that he is ensuring that this will not happen is a very good thing. What more? Yeah, he's also revoking the clearances of several people, the security clearances of several people, especially those that did the Hunter Biden laptop story. They signed a letter that that was like a warning that this is like Russian disinformation, but it turned out it wasn't. It was actually a real thing. It was not Russian disinformation. So these people are now losing their security clearances, which is probably a good thing because that was a huge deal when that happened. It was like censored all over. It was all I almost want to say it was election interference because that was a huge deal. And also some polls show that if this was not censored, then people would actually have voted differently, which could have meant a Trump victory instead of Biden. But that is old history, and we will never know that for sure. Now he's also suspending the TikTok ban for 75 days. This he said is in order to make a deal with TikTok, like that America will own 50% of the company. So we will see if that will happen or not. Now I'm not. It depends. It for China's part, it probably depends on what kind of deal they will be able to get, because what China wants is the information. The influence campaign they can run on TikTok is huge for the American people, and they want that influence into the American society, influence and like kind of almost spyware. They want to be able to do that into the American society. That is a huge deal for them, especially if they want to launch any military campaigns. Then they have a lot of information they can use. And also he's also establishing the famous Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, which is going to be run by Elon Musk, which is going to try to cut a lot of the spending in the American government. And if they're able to do that, that will be huge and that will be very good. Because the American government is spending a lot on bureaucracy and stuff like that. And also they're renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now, this, in my opinion, is just stupid, but whatever. He can do what he wants, I guess. It will just be for America, but I don't care so much about this. So, okay, you do you, I guess, America. You do you. Now, he has also, of course, killed a lot of the Biden administration's executive orders. A lot of them had to do with the DEI and stuff like that, which, of course, you don't want the DEI shit. It's just racist, so that's good. But he's cutting a lot of the Biden administration's executive orders. He has killed. So we will see what this will bring, what Trump will bring to America. It is interesting to see what will happen from now on. And yeah, it will be interesting to see what will happen. And if you want to follow what will happen, you can follow me, follow this channel, and I will be giving you this information. Now, if you found this good or bad, or this video or whatever, then you can write that in the comments, as feedback is needed on what kind of videos and content I want to do. So if you have any suggestions or any improvement stuff, then you can just write that in the comments, and also give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you liked or didn't like. And until next time, I will see you later. Have a good day.